Hey there folks, welcome to Spectrum Pulse. We talk about music, movies, art, and culture. And today, something you've all been looking forward to, it's my mid-year review, the top albums and songs of 2015. Now last year back in 2014 when I put together this list, I was debating its very relevance. I mean, would it give away what would turn out to be my top albums of the year overall? Would it find an audience at all? Would anybody really care about this list? This year, however, the debate was different. I knew I had to do a mid-year review for 2015 because there was so much quality that came out in the front half of this year that I'm honestly a little bit concerned that I'm not going to get a chance to highlight all of it. Between comebacks that delivered in spades, debut albums that blew my mind, and records that seemed to have an abundance of creativity, more than I could have possibly expected, the first 6 months of 2015 have been overwhelmingly strong, to the point where keeping my list of albums down to 12 was insanely difficult. It'll be incredible if the rest of 2015 keeps up this sort of momentum, but for now, here are my top albums of 2015 thus far, starting with number 12, Tetsuo and Youth by Lupe Fiasco.
I just wanna be collected. When I call, goddamn, I don't wanna be accepted, not at all as I am. Visitor, prisoner, land.
The fight for this slot was intense, and no less than 8 albums would have had more than justified shot for this, including 4 hip-hop records. Yeah, it was that strong of a year, especially for hip-hop. But in the end, just like with Sunday Best and Bring Up the Sun last year, Lupe Fiasco just won out with a few songs that managed to rise above all the rest. Easily his best album since The Cool, if not better than The Cool, Tetsuo and Youth shows Lupe at his most focused and yet most abstract, ditching the preaching for populism and an eclectic blend of instrumentation and some of the best technical rapping of his entire career. With a strong conceptual framework that could have easily proven too off-kilter and strange for many listeners, Lupe managed to leave things balanced and leave me very excited where his exit from Atlantic Records will take him. Damn great job, Lupe. Let's keep up that momentum. Number 11, Beyond the Red Mirror by Blind Guardian. You know, I gotta be honest, I wasn't expecting that the power metal veterans coming off of their 3rd decade of albums could pull this off, especially after my lukewarm at best response to their 2010 release. But Beyond the Red Mirror proved me wrong in the best possible way, operating as a sequel to their 1995 classic Imaginations from the Other Side that might not equal that classic, but it's damn impressive all the same. A great power metal record with enough progressive touches and killer songs to back up a fascinating and powerful narrative. Blind Guardian shows exactly why they're still one of the best in the industry today, and I couldn't be happier to see them back. Great work, guys. Looking forward to seeing more. Number 10, Hold My Beer Volume 1 by Randy Rogers and Wade Bowen.
Better the angels to claim you than a long ride along. Someone would have long ago found El Dorado. So luck to you, cowboy, I'm moving on.
You know, 2015 has been a bit of a slow start for country music, but the biggest story of this year thus far has been the slow, inescapable rise in popularity of the Texas red dirt country scene and a backlash to Nashville. And like Casey Musgrave struck with classic country and Blackberry Smoke pushed the boundaries of country rock into psychedelia, Randy Rogers and Wade Bowen, they stuck to the basics and ended up creating something that was just solid as hell with their collaborative album. Nothing too fancy or anything that would produce any hits, but sticking to their own standards in terms of nuanced songwriting, to say nothing of some damn great melodies and production, to say nothing of their solos. Looking forward to Volume 2 from you, gentlemen. Damn great work. But before we go on, let's mention, 7 songs in no particular order from albums that just missed this list but still deserve plenty of attention. Well, so let's start with Uma Thurman by Fall Out Boy from their album American Beauty, American Psycho.
She wants to dance like Uma Thurman, bury me till I confess. She wants to dance like Uma Thurman, and I can't get you out of my head.
Price Tag by Sleater Kinney from their album No Cities to Love.
When the cost comes in, it's gonna be high. We love a bargains, we love the prices so low. But the good job's gone, it's gonna be right.
Stone Milker by Bjork from her album Volnakura.
Emotional respect, all respect I have. Emotional needs.
Woman in the Moon by Blackberry Smoke from their album Holding All the Roses.
My melody just out of town, and I have been blinded by the darkness of midnight. I've always seen a woman in the moon.
Queens by Mr. Wives from their debut Our Own House.
Shiny things, but we always made it work. Building castles out of dirt. My home is a throne, not very pretty, but tough as stone. And we always made it work, no matter how much it did hurt.
Better Than That by Marina and the Diamonds from her album Roots. And finally, Elan by Nightwish from their album Endless Forms Most Beautiful. And now back to our list. Number 9, Hand Cannot Erase by Steven Wilson. Easily the best of the former Porcupine Tree frontman's solo career, Steven Wilson got there by embracing his knack for great hooks and a psychological deconstruction, exploring the mindset of the observer who walks unseen in modern society. It's a deeply fascinating theme and Steven Wilson goes in deep on it, but he doesn't forget to pair it with some stellar compositions along with the way that the polishes his progressive edge to a glistening shine. The album's production and sound is beautiful and I can't recommend it higher. Great job, Steven Wilson. Number 8, Glitterbug by the Wombats.
Everything I need, like it in on Sunday nights. This could be worth the risk, worth the guarantee. This could be the truck that doesn't buy. Just give me a try. Just give me a try. Been kinda hoping you might. Give me a try.
Oh, I was hoping that a Wombats record might actually get here, and while I wouldn't quite say Glitterbug is a complete return to form after their amazing debut, it does deliver a killer slice of wildly fun synth pop that has the good sense to ride out the heady rush of the party, but also enough sense to step back before his recklessness ruins their lives, and even there it might just be too late. Coupled with a gleaming mid-80s inspired sound that doesn't skimp on great melodic hooks and some real emotional pathos, the Wombats are finally back with Glitterbug, and I couldn't be happier. Great work, guys, looking forward to more. Number 7, In Color by Jamie XX.
Higher places you can't reach without me. Reach without
You know, the path to come for me to really appreciate electronic music has been a long one, but this year, Jamie XX proved an emotionally potent experience could still be wrung from it. Yeah, sonically it's playing in very comfortable territory, not all that innovative when it comes to IDM, especially with his guest stars that he brought in from the XX, but with stellar production, great lyricism, and a richness to the compositions and the melodies is both varied and colorful. Jamie XX, he went above and beyond. Or let's put it another way. This album is so damn good, it managed to get on this list despite having Young Thug on it. That is saying something. I can't recommend this highly enough. And now that we're at our halfway point, let's highlight another 7 songs that were absolutely amazing, but their albums just kind of missed the cut from this list. Starting with And Soul by Modest Mouse from their album Strangers to Ourselves.
Was I really supposed to know? How the hell would I know? There goes.
Guantanamo by Jlin from her album Dark Energy.
Tortured.
Heartbreak by Yelawolf from his album Love Story.
Baby, I've been around, you know I've been around, and I can't pretend to love you right now. So you can go cry your heart out until you drown. Hope you can swim it out, 'cause I can't be friends with a friend like you trying to hold me down.
Something Big by Shawn Mendes from his debut Canned Rip.
Pushing, pulling, and it's grabbing me. Feel it in my bones like, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Something big, I feel it happening. Oh, whoa, whoa, something big.
Bills by Lunch Money Lewis from his debut EP Bills.
Bills, I gotta pay, so I'm gonna work every day. I got mouths, I gotta feed, so I'm gonna make sure everybody eats. I got bills.
Tomorrow Never Comes by the Zac Brown Band from their newest album Jekyll and Hyde.
And live like tomorrow never comes.
And finally, A Guy Walks Into a Bar by Tyler Farr from his newest album Suffer and Kiss.
Cry, hold on tight, make it work for a little while. Then one night our tail lights fade out into the dark, and a guy walks into a bar.
And once again, let's get back to the list. Number 6, Complicated Game by James
These
McMurtry.
are the best days. Y'all put your money away. I got the round. Here's to all you strangers, the Mets and the Rangers. Long may we thrive on the Long Island Sound.
The other Texas country record that lodged a major slot on this list, James McMurtry's detailed and poignant storytelling about modern adult life and the passage of time, it's some of his best work. Trading lo-fi simmering anger for complicated resignation and musings on what might have been, this is an album that made this list because of sheer incredible songwriting craft. Telling such complete short stories with every song that's hard not to feel empathy for even the peripheral characters. And paired with instrumentation that pushed McMurtry's sound even further than ever before, it's definitely a country standout this year. Excellent work, man. You deserve more than you're getting. Number 5, the self-titled album from Algiers. It was the debut album. I didn't know how much I wanted it until I got it, and then I wondered how in the nine hells it took so long to get here. Fusing the biblical heft of gospel with the instrumental heft of post-punk industrial noise and the lyrical heft of Black America's struggle against systemic racism and biases, Algiers made a record that's unlike anything I've ever heard, and one that cut deep on all sides. And after weeks of injustice and black churches being set ablaze right now, never has this album felt more powerfully righteous and furious. hilarious, strikingly intelligent, and very pointed, Algiers nailed some powerful theses to the doors of America. Let's see how they respond, if they even can. Number 4, Blurry Face by 21 Pilots.
I'm fairly local. I've been around. I've seen the streets you're walking down. I'm fairly local. Good people now.
This album is polarizing almost by design, and I know there will be plenty of people who take issue with me placing it this high on this list. But you know what? Call it a case of stellar melodies, some of the best hooks you will hear all year, and writing that steps over and beyond anything 21 Pilots has ever done before with enough self-awareness to make it work. Writing an album about the album creation process, improving everything that they needed, and a whole load of things I never expected they'd change. Blurry Face is the sort of pop record that will win me over every time, with the sort of color and flair that shuns reverb, desaturation for tight grooves, nervous energy, and a knack for theatrical bombast that they can pull off with remarkable flair. I might not have been totally won over by Vessel, but Blurry Face gets me every time. Damn great work. And finally, before we go on to our inevitably controversial top 3, let's highlight 6 more songs from albums that missed the list that still deserve some recognition all the same. And let's start with To Die in LA by Lower Dens from their album Escape from Evil. The Only Thing from Sufjan Stevens from his album Carrion Lowell.
Faith and reason, I wasted my life laying down. Signs and wonders, sea lion caves in the dark.
Something to Believe In by Fashion featuring Nas from his album The Ecology.
Something to believe in, yeah. 'Cause I'm looking for something to believe in.
What Kind of Man by Florence and the Machine from her album How Big, How Blue, How
But you
Beautiful.
never close the door. What kind of man loves like these? What kind of man? What kind of man loves like these? What kind of man?
Pageant Material by Casey Musgraves from her album Pageant Material.
I'm always higher than my hair, and it ain't that I don't care about world peace, but I don't see how I can fix it in a swimsuit on a stage. I ain't exactly Miss Congenial. Sometimes I talk before I think. I've tried to fake it.
And finally, Under Gray Skies by Camelot from their album Haven. And now back to our top 3. Number 3, To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick
When I
Lamar.
was walking, now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Coulter, everybody wanna cut the legs off him. King Coulter, black man taking no losses. Oh yeah, bitch, where you and I was walking. Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Coulter, everybody wanna cut the legs off him. When you got the yams.
I can already see the comments. Wait, Kendrick's not at number 1? What kind of jackassery is this? He calls himself a music critic. Well, here's the thing. For as much as I consider To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick Lamar the most important and transformative record of probably this year in terms of its sound and its incredibly well-articulated political message, an album that's bound to go down as a hip-hop classic, wasn't quite my favorite. That's not to say it wasn't exceptional. Kendrick's been topping himself with album after album, and the fact that Bad Blood was the song that took him to number 1 and not King Kunta is a goddamn crime. But as a whole, there are moments that didn't click as well as I'd like, and I found myself having less of a desire to revisit it throughout the course of this year thus far, beyond very specific tracks which are just outright amazing. Still, if you're one of the few hip-hop fans on the planet who have not taken in this album, I cannot recommend it highly enough. It is the most relevant album of 2015, bar none. However, if you're a hip-hop fan, you might want to check out one more first, and that takes us to number 2, All Hands by Doomtree.
Close the circuit, skull full of white light, mouth full of ash, sparks in the pavement, dragging the chain. Anchors off, man, lost it again, steady on, gotta push through the rain, weather in the vein, came for this, trained for this, fuck, made for this, pray they miss duck, great duck gets up and running, rest fall back like a bridge in London, brand new brakes, I never touched it.
I'm in awe of this album. Doomtree might be a cult act out of Minnesota that might be one of the most impenetrable records to date in terms of their production and their wordplay, but that doesn't mean it's not worth far more time and attention than it's been getting. Every time I re-listen through this album, I find more to love in its abrasive, rough-edged production, and every single member spitting with an intensity and energy that's infectious and intriguing to decipher every line. The hooks are strong, the atmosphere is stellar, the technical wordplay is impeccable, and the thematic undercurrents have this ragged activist core that really grips me every time. I can go for this entire album multiple times, and I absolutely love it. And yet, still not my number 1 pick. That, number 1, I Love You, Honeybear by Father John Misty.
And nothing will be spared, but I love you, Honeybear.
This album is nearly a perfect 10 for me. Dead serious. If it wasn't for one song, it would have been the first record I'd have given a perfect score on this show. The hooks are stunning, the instrumentation is gorgeous, the production is lush and rich, and the sheer number of quotable lyrics with real pathos runs high, as Father John Misty takes us through the arc of accepting a real relationship and all the responsibilities that come with it. Oh yeah, and it's frequently funny and heartfelt in a way that allows you to connect with this sort of pretentious, preening jackass who faces the end of his single life, but he's facing with the self-awareness to laugh at him and laugh with him at the same time. As of Midyear 2015, I Love You, Honeybear by Father John Misty is my number 1 album. I'm proud to say it. Goddamn great work. It's a sophomore record that I absolutely adore. But we still have 6 more months to go, so I can't wait to see what happens coming up next. But until then, I'm Mark, you're watching Spectrum Pulse, and I'll see you next time.